Hello there, and thank you so much for your patience. KBC Prime Edition coming 1 hour off the mark, and the reason obviously was the deputy presidential debate that just ended a little while ago, sterling performance there by the media convergence team. First debate pitting Justina Wamae of Ruth's party against Ruth Mutua of the Agano party. The second debate, we saw Rigathi Gachagua of UDA facing off with Martha Karua of the Azimio team, each of them giving an account of themselves, why Kenyans should vote for them and what vision they have for the country in the August 9th general election should they win. Next week, remember that we will be moving on to the presidential debate, so look out for that. Well, let's now take a look at the stories that made headlines tonight, starting off with our lead stories. The prize of litigation. IEBC fires warning shot election could be delayed in areas with pending appeal cases.
Usawa na Azimio.
Throwing in the towel. Usawa party leader Mwangi wa Iria now moves to Azimio after failing to get his name on the presidential ballot. And battle royale for the presidency. Raila Odinga woos Nakuru voters as Deputy President William Ruto traverses Ukambani. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mboya, our sign language interpreter. Tonight is Caroline Joroge. Our socials at KBC Channel 1, my Twitter handle at Mboya24, hashtag Prime Edition. Straight to our top story. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is tonight sending a warning shot that it might be forced to postpone elections in certain areas that still have pending court cases. The Commission's chairperson, Wafula Chebukati, says that the delays in determination of appeal cases by some aspirants will not be allowed to hold back the general election, and that such areas might be left out. Chebukati, who spoke during the election transmission and protocol guidelines launch, said that the team supervising the printing of ballot papers will be leaving for Greece to oversee the exercise. Ben Chumba reports.
The electoral body is warning that some court cases are holding back the commission from going on with the printing of ballot papers. IEBC chairperson says the commission is concerned that such cases might jeopardize the planning of the elections and the affected areas might be blocked out of the 9th of August general election.
Decisions from the court, which will then throw the commission outside its timeline for 9th of August, we shall, as a commission, consider postponing elections in the respective areas if we are put in a position where we cannot be able to hold that election. So if the decisions from the courts are going to throw us completely out of balance, then we shall postpone elections for those elective positions only, and then have them held after the general election. So as a commission, of course, we are guided by judgments of the court. We are law-abiding, but again, when it becomes impossible for us to perform our function, then we shall be postpone elections in the for the respective positions.
At the same time, the commission revealed that a section of its officials, media, and the political class will this evening head to Greece to oversee the printing of ballot papers.
The commission is devoting all its human resources in the execution of its primary role, that is planning and putting in place appropriate measures and mechanisms to realization of the credible and transparent election.
And in relation to Mike Sonko's Mombasa gubernatorial contest, the commission says it is yet to be served summons from the East African Court of Justice.
I don't practice international law, but I believe the areas which then we shall need our legal counsel to advise. So I think that's purely international law, and I believe that has... I don't even know whether we are parties in that case. I have not been served with the papers.
For Prime Edition, I'm Gladys Mungai.
That report was by Gladys Mungaya. Quick correction there. But let's move to Ben Chumba's report. Now, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has assured Kenyans that the results transmission system to be used in the August 9th poll is accurate, safe, and secure. Speaking during the testing and simulation of election technology, IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati said that the electronically transmitted results will, however, be used only to generate a provincial tally, as the Commission must verify physically statutory forms before declaring the outcome of the election.
With 20 days to the August 9 polls, the electoral body IEBC conducted the second simulation exercise of the electronic transmission of poll results at the Bomas of Kenya.
The agents will be invited, of the political parties, to sign if they agree that those marks that have been written on 34A are the correct ones. After they have signed, then the presiding officer takes a picture, an image of that form.
St. Anne's Primary School in Makadara constituency. We are ready to transmit right now.
In the exercise witnessed by members of the public, the Commission deployed 580 presiding officers across a sample of 580 polling stations across the country in transmitting results.
St. Anne's Primary.
Makadara constituency.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe Kevin, you can take us to St. Anne's, Makadara.
Yes.
That particular form that has been sent will go through the validation rules. One, does it come from one of our registered devices? Secondly, the SIM card that has transmitted that particular data, is it registered to us? Third, is it a valid polling station?
And the KIMS kit is locked for that station. If you try to send another form or something else through that KIMS kit, it will not be sent.
What happens where there is a dispute as to the Form 34A in its entirety?
During the testing and simulation of the results transmission system, the Commission sought to assure Kenyans of a credible process, as members of the public will be able to download and access all Forms 34As from the Commission's portal.
When the Supreme Court asked us, what do you consider as the result in 2017? We have an answer. Now, it is Form 34A. And those marks will be written by hand on the form and shown to people.
As we speak, the kits are actually being sent into the field. So you'll find the ones which may not have gone, and at least get the team to give you all explanations that you require. Avoid listening too much to social media and fake news. We are here to answer your questions.
However, electronically transmitted results will only be used to generate a provisional tally, since IEBC is required to verify physical statutory forms before declaring the outcome of an election.
The Office of the Registrar of Political Parties will undertake a training of trainers ahead of the August poll. Speaking during the launch of a political education source book and other training manuals for agents, the Registrar of Political Parties, Ann Derito, said that agents are key players in an electoral process and therefore require knowledge on electoral matters. Here's that report.
Underscoring the role played by the body, the Registrar of Political Parties, Ann Derito, said our office is concerned by the gigantic number of Kenyans who have no knowledge on what political parties entails and the benefits of belonging to such bodies.
The reason for this book, first, is to allow Kenyans interact with the political processes as defined in laws and as practiced in this country, as Kenya, and the gaps that we need to address as citizens, and try to endear Kenyans to political processes, because Kenyans sometimes avoid political processes and thinking that they do not affect them.
Beginning this Friday, agents will be trained ahead of the bigger task in the coming general elections as they are key ingredient in an electoral process.
Political parties, kindly select agents carefully. We are giving this quick guide to help you even in the selection of your agents. One of the most important facts to select an agent is loyalty. Loyalty to the political party, loyalty to the political process, and believing in the ideas of that political party.
IBC is such an important institution given our history. And I can tell you this because there are many young people in this room, and I get very concerned sometimes, especially through this season. I have met young people who have told me, I don't know whether I want to vote.
At the same time, people with disabilities have called for civil and political rights inclusion in the entire electoral process, saying they are key stakeholders in the election.
And I'm grateful that we are here to actually emphasize on the issue of inclusion of persons with disabilities in the entire electoral cycle.
A level playing field for political parties and for the people to participate in elections as expressed as in RPP. So it is our great pleasure to support all the approaches of RPP when it comes to inclusiveness, working with SIG, working with the rule of law for parties.
During the event, a call for political responsibility by all Kenyans was also reiterated. Ruth Mboya reporting for Prime Edition.
An update from Seychelles now. President Uhuru Kenyatta has challenged African parliaments to play their role in entrenching constitutionalism as well as good governance. The head of state made the remarks at the conclusion of his 3-day state visit to Seychelles as the two nations embarked on enhancing vibrant diplomatic relations. Fred Mwoki reports.
On Tuesday, President Uhuru Kenyatta visited the Vallée de Mai Nature Reserve, a UNESCO World Heritage Site on Praslin Island, Seychelles.
All rise, Mr. Speaker.
The head of state, who was on a 3-day state visit to Seychelles, challenged African parliaments to play their role in entrenching constitutionalism and good governance.
I do appreciate the government of the Republic of Seychelles for embracing the blue economy through the Blue Economy Roadmap. And this has earned the Seychelles the title of African Champion of the Blue Economy.
President Kenyatta said he is dismayed by the increase of the occurrences of unconstitutional changes of power in several African countries. He added that parliaments have a critical role in promoting African integration, saying it was because of their significance that the Assembly of Heads of State and Government established the Pan-African Parliament, which is based in South Africa.
I am pleased, Mr. Speaker, to note that Kenya and Seychelles are at the vanguard in protecting our oceans and marine resources. And we also look forward to strengthening our collaboration in these areas following my visit to your beautiful country.
Seychelles President Wavel, through the national speaker, reaffirmed the commitment of the two countries in consolidating the ongoing efforts to secure the Indian Ocean waters through the contact group on piracy off the coast of Somalia.
The formation of the earth has made us neighbors. This itself calls for us to be brothers and partners in promoting peace, stability, and development in our region for the mutual interest of our nations.
Frederick Mwoki for Prime Edition.
And that story brings us to our first break right here on KBC Prime. In the second part of this live broadcast, a look at the day's politics, among others. Stay with us.
Ali, I heard you escaped from the Al-Shabaab. How did you end up there?
Well, a friend of mine, Juma, promised me that I could get a good job. And since I was jobless, I thought, why not? So one day I met a contact who organized for my transport. And upon arrival, he took me to my new place of work. But as we went, I realized something was wrong. Where exactly are the offices?
Don't worry about that. You will soon find out.
Next thing I knew, I was apparently recruited to fight for Al-Shabaab. Something I was not prepared for. It was evil. After a few days, I couldn't take it anymore. This is not what I signed up for. Manze, I just decided to run away.
And that's when you came here to the youth center, eh?
Yes, they helped me to overcome the trauma. I was granted amnesty and then cancelled by NCTC. Now, I work here as a volunteer to help others just like me.
This message is brought to you by the National Counter-Terrorism Center, Kenya.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
To get John chapter 11 as your skiza tune, dial *811 *965#.
I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. John chapter 11, verse 25.
To get John chapter 11, dial *811 *965#. To get John chapter 11, dial *811 *965#.
We shall legalize weed.
Professor George Luchiri Wajakoya of the Roots Party.
Semeni Babakea. Babakea.
Raila Amolo Odinga of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Party.
Unajua mimi sina pesa ya serikali ama ya kashfa.
David Mwaure Wahiga of the Agano Party. And
hakuna kura ya hasla mtaiba.
William Samoei Ruto of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Presidential Debate 2022. Do not adjust your sets.
Welcome back, and straight into politics. Deputy President William Ruto has pledged to reduce the cost of food in the country if elected to office in the August 9th poll. The Deputy President, who spoke during the Kenya Kwanza campaigns in Ukambani, said his administration will empower farmers with subsidized inputs and also financial bailouts. Ruto says that the increase on food and commodity prices is as a result of structural problems in the management of the food production chain in the country. JJ Curia reports.
The Kenya Kwanza presidential candidate was in Ukambani, holding a series of rallies in Kitui and Machakos counties.
Wapi kura ya William Ruto, nione wapi kura ya William Ruto.
Even with the subsidy offered by government on the price of maize flour, bringing down the cost of a 2 kg packet to 100 shillings, Ruto promised to empower farmers by providing subsidized inputs as a sustainable way of reducing the cost of food commodities.
Tunaweka pesa ya serikali kwa kilimo. Tupunguze gharama ya mbolea. Ile inauzwa shilingi 7,000 saa hizi, tupunguze mpaka shilingi 2,500. Na tuwasaidie wakulima wetu mbegu. Kila mkulima aweze kuzalisha chakula zaidi, aweke pesa kwa mfuko na chakula ipatikane kwa bei nafuu, ili kila Mkenya aweze kulisha familia yake na tuondoe aibu ya njaa katika taifa letu la Kenya.
The Deputy President blames the rise in cost of living to structural failures in the agricultural chain.
Ndio tunawaambia sisi ndio tuko na mpango ya kuzalisha chakula tuweze kuondoa hii matatizo ya njaa katika taifa letu la Kenya. Mtakubali watu wa Matuu tutembee pamoja? Matutu, unakubali tembee pamoja?
With approximately 5 million youths unemployed or lacking sustainable jobs, Ruto says his administration would set aside 200 billion shillings as the Marshall Plan for youth empowerment.
Katika hiyo Marshall Plan, tunaweka bilioni 200 kila mwaka kwa textile industry, leather industry, agro-processing, value addition, manufacturing, mambo ya housing. Ndio tupange ajira ya hawa vijana kama hatua yetu ya dharura, an emergency crisis program, so that the young people of this country can find a job to do and a business to do, so that we can get them out of the hopelessness that is there today.
Ruto and the Kenya Kwanza leaders rallied area residents to support the alliance, saying his team had high prospects of occupying State House.
Mtu amekuunga mkono mara mbili, alafu unakuja kumuuliza jina yake ati wewe unaitwa nani? Sio ni madharau? Ni kweli ama si kweli? Ni kweli ama si kweli? Tafadhali munisaidie tufukuze hii mtu awaje kutesa watu.
Nyinyi watu wa hapa Lower Eastern, nyinyi mnahitaji maji, mnahitaji watoto wenu wapate kazi, lazima muwe katika serikali.
Hapo Ukambani, angalia vile tuko wengi hapa. 50% imeshahama, imekuja kwa Ruto. Ni ukulia hii, huyo mtu atashinda namna gani? Atashinda namna gani?
The Deputy President was invading Kalonzo Musyoka's backyard of Kitui and Machakos County, rallying area residents around his presidential bid, promising to protect Kalonzo Musyoka's political interests if he's elected to office. Tomorrow, the tour takes him to Makueni County and later Taita Taveta. John Jacob Curia, Prime Edition.
And of course, we will be following the Makueni events as they unfold. Let's now cross over to Nakuru, where Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party presidential flag bearer Raila Odinga now says that he will turn around the country's economy and create more employment opportunities if he's elected the president. Speaking in a vote hunting mission, as I mentioned, in Nakuru County, Raila also said that he will seal corruption loopholes if elected. He said corruption is the major impending to development. Timothy Kipnusu reports.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition on Tuesday took their charm offensive to Nakuru County. Raila addressing various rallies in Gilgil, Naivasha and Maimayu, and later Nakuru town. Raila terming the coming election as critical to the country.
Nataka hii uchaguzi ambayo inakuja ni uchaguzi muhimu sana. Vile nimwambia nyinyi, haitutaki kuona kama kura hata moja inalala.
Raila has promised to revive the economy, create more industries and employment for the millions of unemployed youth.
Mambo ya miundo msingi tutaangalia vilivyo. Mambo ya barabara, mimi ninajua mambo ya barabara. Ile barabara inajenga yote Kenya, mimi ndio nilichora nikiwa waziri barabara na ujenzi, sio?
Raila at the same time faulted Kenya Kwanza for trivializing the current state of country's economy and rising prices of basic commodities.
Analalamika ati hii ni siasa. Yeye anataka wananchi wazidi kuumia. Hataki wananchi wapate afueni. Nyinyi mlikuwa mnalia sana. Nikamwambia Uhuru, watu wangu wanalia. Tumia mbinu teremsha bei ya unga chini.
Raila said his government will deal decisively with corrupt individuals in a bid to ensure no taxpayer money is lost.
Ni wale vijana wale wa bodaboda tutawasaidia kupatia pesa ambaye gharama yake pana juu sana, wanunua naye pikipiki badala ya kuendesha pikipiki ya watu wengine, na kuwafundisha mambo ya usalama.
Sasa lazima gharama ya maisha iende wapi? Na unajua ile kitu imefanya gharama ya maisha iende juu. Si unajua? Ile kitu imefanya gharama ya maisha iende juu ni ufisadi.
Ukifanya siasa ya kujaribu, siasa ya majaribio, siasa ya try and error, nyinyi mtapata shida ila mjawahi kuona katika nchi hii.
Timothy Kipnusu for Prime Edition.
Now moving on, Usawa wa Wote Party leader Governor Mwangi wa Iria has officially joined Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party. Speaking in Nairobi, the Murang'a governor said that he decided to support Raila Odinga's presidential bid after the two met and agreed to merge their manifestos. Governor wa Iria has called upon his followers to back the Raila Martha candidature, saying that their bid can be trusted to bring the desired changes in the country.
3 weeks to the general election, Usawa kwa Wote party leader Mwangi wa Iria
Usawa na Azimio
has endorsed the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party leader Raila Odinga's presidential bid. Governor wa Iria, who was barred from vying for presidency by the IEBC, praised Raila for being compassionate and agreeing to accommodate his manifesto in his plan.
So I told him, Baba, if we can combine your 6,000 and my cow program can give 12,000 shillings to all peasant farmers in the country. That is $3 a day per household. The international poverty line is $1 a day, as prescribed by World Bank. And I told him that if I have to work with you, then the one home, one cow must be in our joint manifesto, the Usawa Azimio manifesto. And he said, if you agree that we work together, then we shall adopt one home, one cow program as part of Usawa Azimio manifesto.
The Usawa kwa Wote party leader revealed that the move comes after he held a 2-hour talk with Odinga. Governor wa Iria indicating he will be lobbying for a political seat should Azimio la Umoja form government next month.
This is the time now when we need that old man, I can tell you, whether you like it or not, so that we can sober up. At least there are things which you can't do, I can tell you. We now need a moment of reflection. We now need a bit of wisdom, because the speed at which we are going to destroy this nation. People are behaving as if Kenya is expiring tomorrow.
Gishoke Washira, Prime Edition.
Siaya County ODM gubernatorial candidate James Agre Orengo has committed to establish the principles of good governance if he succeeds in his bid. Orengo, who was speaking during the launch of his manifesto, pledged to settle for nothing but a win in the August poll. And at the coast, the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, has warned religious leaders to remain non-partisan and to preach peace during this electioneering period.
Siaya County ODM gubernatorial candidate James Orengo has committed to establish principles of good governance if he succeeds in his bid. Speaking during the launch of his manifesto, Orengo vowed to secure victory for the party in the upcoming polls.
A nation that elect leaders because they make leadership look like some kind of drama or sarcasm is going to bring us down as a nation. It's going to bring us down as a nation. The quality of leadership is important.
If there is no seat that ODM cannot afford to lose, it is the governor of Siaya County, let me tell you. He can joke with any seats, but not the governor of Siaya. There is no way Raila Odinga will be the president at State House, and when he comes back home here, that his governor is from another party.
Wycliffe Alberta Oparanya.
And Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya has put all cartels in the sugar sector on notice. Oparanya says that under a Raila Odinga presidency, operations at the Mumias Sugar Company will be revived.
Lakini hataki Mumias ianze kwa sababu ikianza hata kuwa na nafasi ya kutoa sukari kutoka wapi? Nje. Mnasikia hiyo? Kwa sababu sukari ya nje iko na faida kuliko sukari ya hapa. Na Raila ameniambia ako committed, hata sasa akiwa president iende kwa Supreme Court hawataweza. Hiyo paka factory ifanye nini? Ikuwe revived.
Meanwhile, a senatorial candidate in Kisii County has withdrawn from the race in favor of former South Mugirango Member of Parliament Omingo Magara. According to Vincent Gikone, who was an independent candidate, the former assistant minister is best suited for the seat.
He has contested 2 times, garnering so many votes compared to what we garnered. So we saw it's good. We combine the effort and also to bring together all those votes that we got so that at least he can win.
I'm sure we shall all be part of this win, and I want to assure the Kisii community and the people at large and the voters that if they invest their vote on me, they're investing on proper oversight, they're investing in proper representation.
IEBC officials in Nyaribari Chache constituency in Kisii County met with candidates of different elective seats to address key issues on the upcoming polls.
We decided to have a meeting so that we take them through the election path. We took them through the step-by-step process of how elections are conducted, the activities that are done pre-election, during the election, and even post-election. And I think we have clarified a number of issues, and they are happy.
And in Mombasa County, the National Council of Churches of Kenya has urged religious leaders to remain non-partisan and to preach peace during this electioneering period.
Viongozi wa kidini wasichukue mrengo wowote. Lazima tubaki kuwa neutral so that we remain to be the voice of hope, so that we can be able to bring about mediation and reconciliation just in case there is conflicts in our country.
Safin Acheng, Oma, Prime Edition.
Are you an aspiring candidate in the upcoming general elections? Do you want your agenda and manifesto to reach your voters effectively? At KBC, we have the most comprehensive and credible online platform that has profiles of all prospective candidates. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants and let Kenyans know more about you, your past achievements, your manifesto, and your development agenda once you get elected to office. What's more, the website is easy to navigate. We will create your profile, post pictures and short videos with your campaign messages at affordable hosting fees. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants today and establish your brand authority as we lead towards the forthcoming general elections.
We shall legalize weed.
Professor George Luchiri Wajakoya of the Roots Party.
Semeni Babakea. Babakea.
Raila Amolo Odinga of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Party.
Unajua mimi sina pesa ya serikali ama ya kashfa.
David Mwaure Wahiga of the Agano Party. And
hakuna kura ya hasla mtaiba.
William Samoei Ruto of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Presidential Debate 2022. Do not adjust your sets.
My apologies for that earlier mix-up. Well, let's now take a look at what happened in the business segment. I'm sitting in for Betty Kiptum. As I indicated, the International Monetary Fund is pressing Kenya to urgently conclude reforming Kenya Airways and Kenya Power. The fund has also put the government on the spot for failing to put in place anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism frameworks. IMF has agreed to release a 28 billion shilling loan to Kenya, bringing the total disbursement under the 237 billion shilling 3-year program to 143 billion shillings so far.
Kenya and the International Monetary Fund signed the emergency credit facility in 2021 to cushion the country against the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, Kenya has persistently failed to meet some of the conditions set by the IMF. Part of the targets that were missed is the 2022-2023 fiscal consolidation. The IMF had also asked the government to push the results of a forensic audit of COVID-19 vaccine spending by the end of May this year before accessing loans. But the IMF board says Kenya has not yet met the above conditions, instead asking for more time. The fund is now pressing Kenya to conclude reforming Kenya Power and Kenya Airways in a bid to make them profitable and streamline their operations. The KQ turnaround plan is stuck in Parliament, with a nationalisation law yet to be enacted. Last year, the government appointed a task force to oversee reforms at Kenya Power, declaring it a special government project. IMF has halted Kenya's slow pace in reforming state entities that are insolvent. The IMF board says the third quantitative review conducted in late March through early April has shown that Kenya's economic recovery is on track, and it's expected to withstand the twin shocks of the election and the commodity crisis rocking the global economy. The Bretton Woods institution says the 28 billion shillings will go towards budgetary support and relieving inflationary pressures occasioned by the rising global fuel and fertilizer prices.
Now, the Kenya Revenue Authority has moved to the High Court to vacate an order to reopen Keroche breweries, putting to doubt resumption of operations. The taxman says that the decision goes against the previous court orders and that the consent agreement signed by the two parties. Here's that report.
3 days ago, the High Court ordered the Kenya Revenue Authority to reopen Keroche Brewery's plant in Naivasha, pending the hearing and determination of a suit pitting the two parties over settlement of tax arrears. Although the ruling was a sigh of relief following the protracted legal battles, it was a short term as KRA has moved to court, challenging the decision allowing the resumption of operations at the Nairobi-based brewer. The Kenya Revenue Authority says the High Court order contravenes the previous directives issued by another court that ordered Keroche breweries to commit to a repayment plan to settle the tax arrears. In a statement, KRA Commissioner for Legal Services and Board Coordination Paul Matuko says, and I quote, "It is the authority's view that the case filed in court by Keroche and the orders sought to go contrary to previous orders issued by the same court, and the consent agreements arrived and signed by the two parties." End of quote. The High Court ordered Keroche to pay an initial amount of 8 million shillings as the first installment and pay a similar amount at the end of every month until the next hearing date in September. The ruling had offered a reprieve to the hundreds of workers who are staring at job losses following the shutdown of the brewery. In May this year, KRA shut Keroche breweries after the brewer failed to honor a repayment plan to settle 957 million shillings owed to the taxman in 24 months. Keroche breweries officials said the payment period was too short given the current tough operating environment. Caroline Jinga for Prime Edition.
Now, the government has rolled out the livestock offtake program targeting 13 drought-hit counties where livestock is brought to be slaughtered and later on be distributed to households facing hunger. The program, being implemented by the Kenya Meat Commission and the Kenya Red Cross Society, targets to benefit about 267,000 households. Details of this and others from our corporate scene.
The prolonged drought has left over 4.1 million Kenyans in 23 arid and semi-arid counties in need of food aid, and livestock hasn't been spared either. Data from the National Drought Management Authority indicate heavy livestock losses across the 23 counties, with assessments showing livestock losses of up to 70% in places such as Ileret in Marsabit County. To mitigate the effects, the Kenya Meat Commission and the Kenya Red Cross Society have rolled out a livestock destocking program targeting 13 counties. Under the government-funded project, the Kenya Meat Commission is providing oversight of slaughtering the livestock. Then the meat is distributed by the Kenya Red Cross Society to households facing hunger. And L'Oreal Professional Paris has partnered with professional hairstylists in Kenya to officially release its newest range of natural hair care products in Kenya that target the youthful population, popularly referred to as Generation Z. Kenya, Nigeria and South Africa are listed among key markets for hair care markets, with key market segments driving growth for hair care market on the continent. Finally, Kenya is targeting group travelers as a strategy to increase tourist arrivals as the sector recovers from COVID-19 disruptions.
As we kick off the evening, I ask that we continue in the same vein that we started yesterday. The vibe of being able to interact as women, being able to share ideas, being able to be sparring partners for each other, bounce ideas off each other is actually what this evening is about.
Long-lasting lifetime connections and networks such that we do have open communication and open networks to continue working together post this engagement. And I think this is a value actually of you coming to Africa on this retreat.
Tourism Principal Secretary Zainab Hussein says group travel is today a big catalyst to tourism growth in terms of numbers and receipt, especially in the post-COVID era, and that the government would take full advantage of its pooled travellers.
Well, and that does it for the day's business. Coming up, Karen Kibet, Manakwet with the Day Sports.
People of the country, nobody grind like we did far away blind now, we just can't be. I'm living a dream, yeah.
Beatrice Chepkoech, the fastest woman in the world, becomes the world champion here in Doha.
The World Athletics Championships is being hosted in Oregon, in the United States of America, for the first time ever from 15th to 24th of July 2022. An estimated 2,000 base track and field athletes representing more than 200 nations will come together in a celebration of diversity, human potential and athletic achievement. Short races are not the only attractions. Marathon, magnificent throws.
Is it going to be long enough? Oh, it's a huge throw.
And outstanding jumps among other disciplines is expected as well. Although an immense task awaits them, our own Team Kenya is adequately represented by resolute athletes ready to liven up Hayward Field at the University of Oregon.
What a race, what heart. Oh my goodness me, so close.
Don't miss a single glorious moment, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
A very good evening to you. I do hope you're holding up well. Thank you for keeping it KBC Prime Edition. Let's now shift to Matters Sports. My name is Karen Kibet. Now, on to some amazing news. The Olympic champion Faith Kipyegon won Kenya her first gold medal at the ongoing World Athletics Championship in Oregon, United States, clocking 3 minutes 52.96 seconds. Another Kenyan, Conseslus Kipruto, secured a bronze medal for Kenya, finishing third in the 3,000 meter steeplechase.
Faith Kipyegon won Kenya her first gold medal at the 2022 Oregon.
To say the truth, I knew this race was going to be fast because
After guy doesn't know how to run at the back, so she's a front runner. So I knew she was going to push the race so that she got the medal, because if she goes slowly, she can kick at the end. But I really thank her that she went in front, and the three of us went like that, and the medal were already 1, 2, 3.
I gave it all today, and I got bronze. I had a lot of plans, and actually I managed to control it. The first six laps I was okay, on which it was on my plans. But actually the last 150 meters, I got some challenges, but we agree that is sports. And actually being a bronze medalist after 2 years is good result for me, and I'm still happy for it. So I didn't defend my title. I'm actually happy for coming back and got a bronze or I got a medal.
We are celebrating the first call from our king, Faith Kipyegon, that they have done us proud. For sure, we appreciate what we get today. At the same time, also we congratulate Conseslus Kivruta for his performance.
Kwa ujumla ningependa kusema tunatarajia matokeo mazuri. Watu wako sawa na matokeo itakuwa mzuri. Kazi ile watafanya ni kazi ya kufurahisha.
Congratulations, Faith Kipyegon and Conseslus Kipruto, for making the country proud. Now moving on, still in athletics, world champion Timothy Cheruiyot will be seeking to defend his title as he lines up for the 1500 meters final tomorrow morning at the World Athletics Championships in Oregon, United States. Abel Kipsang will also be competing for gold in the race.
Abel Kipsang and Timothy Cheruiyot will hand Kenya's second gold medal of the 2022 World Championships ongoing in Oregon, United States, when they take to the track in the final of the 1500 meters. Timothy Cheruiyot is the defending champion after he won the previous edition of the World Championships in Doha, Qatar in 2019, clocking 3 minutes 29.26 seconds. He is also the Tokyo's 2020 Olympic silver medalist. Compatriot Abel Kipsang will also be in the race. Abel is the gold medalist in the African Championships and the bronze medalist in the 2022 Belgrade World Indoor Championship. Currently, Kenya's hunt for medals tallies at 1 gold, 3 silver and 2 bronze. All the action will be televised live on KBC Channel 1.
Champion of the world. What a way to do it.
Thank you, Nora, for that report. The Kenyan relay team to the Commonwealth Games is confident they have what it takes to bring back the gold from Birmingham. The team of 200-meter national champion Mike Mokamba, David Kiviasi, Samuel Imeta and Boniface Moresa have been boosted by the inclusion of Hesbon Ochieng as they strategize on the top prize. They will be anchored by the fastest man in Africa, Ferdinand Omanyala, who will be looking forward to make up for his tribulations in Oregon with nothing short of success. The team is credited with Kenya's first 4x100-meter gold in the recent Africa Senior Athletics Championships in Mauritius, hoping to carry on in the Commonwealth Games.
This is the first time I'm going for Commonwealth Games. I've been in other international meets, but for Commonwealth Games, this is the first time I'm going there. In terms of preparation, psychologically and mentally, I'm well prepared. Physically, we're okay.
Tulikuwa African Championship, Senior African Championship, Mauritius. Tukamanage kuleta gold. Hiyo ndio tulimanage kuleta gold kwa relay. Mimi ndo starter wa relay. Na team iko proud, team imejiandaa vyema. Hoping tutaleta medal.
Preparation yetu imekuwa mzuri. Since tulitoka Mauritius, tukakimbia trials, so at least tukakuja camp mapema, so tumekuwa tukifanya tu sharpening mahali kulikuwa na hiccups kidogo.
My expectation is to win. We are going to take it. We are going to win for the gold. We are going for the gold this time around, so that even the world can know that nowadays Kenya also are good in sprints, not in the middle distance and long distance only. They should also focus on, even the officials and Kenya as a whole, they should also focus on sprints.
And those are all the sports stories we had for you tonight. I'll see you tomorrow with more sports news. My name is Karen Kibet. Do have yourself a peaceful night, but the broadcast is not yet over, as I do hand you back to Tom Mboya for more.
Thank you, Karen. Well, that's all we had time for on the day that Kenya's COVID positivity rate rose to 5.2 from yesterday's 3.8, a reason for us to keep up with the Ministry of Health COVID-19 protocols. Well, thanks for watching KBC Prime Edition. My name is Tom Mboya. Good night from Nairobi, Kenya.
Mpenzi, naahidi tutakutana peponi. Naenda kupigania malengo makuu ya dini yetu.
What life had Hamida chosen? At the end, she was brutally murdered. Is this the life you want? If you know anyone who might need our help, please call our toll-free line 0800 721 600. This message is brought to you by the National Counterterrorism Center, Kenya.
Nova, you killed my son. Today, I'll make you pay for what you've done. Genova, wake up! Genova! Genova! Hang in there! Hang in there!
Genova! What's happening there?
On earth are you? How'd you get so brazen? No one can help you. Not even Genova.
Genova! 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 Genova!
都是假象。
I was just so afraid he would do what he did to my godmother, to Mika and to Beto.
You know I didn't do anything. That's not true. I didn't.
Silence! We've come to the conclusion that your wife has Alzheimer's disease.
Won't be able to manipulate this one. He knows his stuff and I can't tell him what to do. He's gonna ruin my business.
Do it as soon as possible. Don't you get it, doctor? I am in a rush to get pregnant.
I'm rich, I'm powerful, but when it comes to love, I haven't gotten it figured out till now.
Put all my energy, and I mean all my energy, in being close to my brother again.
We shall legalize weed.
Professor George Luchiri Wajakoya of the Roots Party. Raila Amolo Odinga of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Party.
Unajua mimi sina pesa ya serikali ama ya kashfa.
David Mwaure Wahiga of the Agano Party. And
hakuna kura ya hasla mtaiba.
William Samoei Ruto of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Presidential Debate 2022. Do not adjust your sets.
Are you an aspiring candidate in the upcoming general elections? Do you want your agenda and manifesto to reach your voters effectively? At KBC, we have the most comprehensive and credible online platform that has profiles of all prospective candidates. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants and let Kenyans know more about you, your past achievements, your manifesto, and your development agenda once you get elected to office. office. What's more, the website is easy to navigate. We will create your profile, post pictures and short videos with your campaign messages at affordable hosting fees. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants today and establish your brand authority as we lead towards the forthcoming general elections.
Nimesahau koti langu ndani. Kaini.
Are you guys fighting again?
Yeye alikuwa anatumia tu opportunity kuzengua hivi ya kuibia pesa na kuna ujinga huo. Oh, kwa hivyo ndo maana ukamteka nyara, sio?
What is going on? It's my mom and my dad.
Niachie mwenyewe mataksi wangu bana.
Sitaki maana lolote. Unajua utakasirika sana. Na hata naweza kufanya relationship yetu iende.